everyone is doing well. Today I'm presenting on the revolutionary ideas Nose of a Native Son and the Dead by James Baldwin and James Joyce. My name is Solomon Wanko. Baldwin and Joyce are socialists who believed that the age of capital could be transcended to resolve the problem of racial, cultural, and identity. Let's look at the influence of these individuals, both as writers and activists. Baldwin combined personal reflection with social critique, addressing the themes of race, identity, and inequality. And this is shown in his works on Go Tell It on the Mountain, which was written in 1953, a semi autobiographical novel about faith, identity, and family, and also Giovanni's Room, which was written in 1956, which is a groundbreaking novel exploring love and self identity. Also, Nose of a Native Son, which is the main text for this book, was written in 1955 and it highlights a powerful collection of essays examining race and identity in America. James Joyce, also known for modernist works and revolutionized narrative structure and language, as shown in Dubliners, which is written in 1914, and a portrait of the artist as a young man, written in 1916, which highlights the coming of age novel following Stephen Dedalus, and also Ulysses, which was written in 1922, a stream of consciousness epic set in a single day, and also Fernand Games' Wake, which was written in 1939. Now let's look at the highlights of the works of both James Baldwin and James Joyce. So James Baldwin highlights the inherent injustice of the American dream, asserting that it is predicated on the denial of Black humanity. So over here, he really put the spotlight on systemic racism. Also, he talks about family dynamics through his complex relationship with his father. Baldwin explores how personal relationships are shaped by external systems of oppression. And he also highlights or throws more light on identity and rage, where he emphasizes the psychological impact of being conscious, a conscious Black person in a racially oppressive society. His observation that to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time, and this reflects the emotional toll of systemic racism. Joyce also, through her writings, also highlights on existential dilemmas, cultural stagnation, love, and loss. And through her ideas revolves around the paralysis caused by the tradition and existential awakening of individuals trapped by cultural stagnation. She also, through her book In the Dead, Gabriel Conroy's epiphany about his own inadequacies and the stifling grip of societal expectations challenges the romanticized view of Irish nationalism and cultural traditions. And this also, let's move on to the next slide where I ask the question, given the writer's time and place, how dangerous do these ideas become? Now, when we talk about Baldwin's, um, you know, controversial works which were deemed dangerous, Baldwin directly challenged the foundations of white supremacies. During Baldwin's time, that was an era of racial segregation and violent racial tensions. Baldwin's critiques challenged the dominant white narrative of progress and equality. His calls for racial justice directly opposed entrenched power, the entrenched power structure. And this dude is a Black man. And also, his ideas really raised social ostracism and violent repercussions in a society resistant to change. Baldwin's work forces readers to confront the discomfort of their complicity in the systemic racism, making it polarized and revolutionary. Now let's look at how dangerous James Joyce's works were, and we talk about his works raised alienating national sentiments and traditionalist readers who viewed such critiques as undermining the fight for Irish identity, and it challenged the social norms, criticized Irish nationalism, and pushed the boundaries against acceptable literary expressions. And why again do these ideas, or do we call these ideas as dangerous? Now, Baldwin's challenge of the dominant white narrative and progress and equality was quite dangerous because, again, he's a black man, and doing that in such a time of conservatism, was very risky. And he calls also for racial justice, and that directly opposes the entrenched power structures. And the works forces readers to confront systemic racism. And if we look at Joyce, on the other hand, we find out that his works also confronts power structures, just like Baldwin, and he challenges the cultural stagnations that unsettles the comforting myths of tradition and nationalism that is in the nation of Ireland. And this brings out the characters that mirrors the reader's own paralysis. And how do these writers present their ideas? When we look at Baldwin, James Baldwin, we see that his character or his ideas are personalized in anecdotes, and so you see him using references to himself and things that has actually happened in his own life, and he, such as his reflection on his father's death, ground systemic issues in which he had an individual experience and had not known his father very well, and had not got on badly, or partly because he shared in different fashion, as he highlights in the book. And Baldwin presents his ideas in a positive influence, such as the school teacher. Misconceptions and misinterpretations of his ideas, and some people may misinterpret Baldwin's message towards racial injustice about Black Americans. And we look at James Joyce, and we realize that he uses Gabriel's internal reflections and the hunting imagery of the dead, and he symbolized the universality of paralysis and the potential of epiphany. Joyce uses Gabriel's internal reflections and the haunting imagery of the dead to illustrate how individuals are metaphorically trapped by their histories. The final scene, where Gabriel contemplates life and death amidst falling snow, symbolizes the universality of paralysis and the potential epiphany. Let's look at the revolutionary ideas. Intersectionality for Baldwin, nation of individuals, forgiveness, reconciliation, multiracial society and movement. And we look at James Joyce, we find out that her ideas revolves around the paralysis caused by tradition and existential reckoning of individuals trapped by cultural stagnation, challenges the romanticized view of Irish nationalism and cultural traditions. And these are all dangerous elements. If you want to read further on these books, we can look at the citation where I list all the books that I use and the materials that I use. and you can get more ideas on these topics. Thank you so much for paying attention and listening to this presentation. Once again, my name is Solomon Wanko, and I thank you for listening.